Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to find exact values for inverse sine function. So in this case here, just a few steps for you to get there. So things you have to do. First thing you have to do in this case here is that you have to recognize that inverse sine of square root of 2 over 2, as in this case here, is not like we say the inverse of sine. Okay, so it's not the same as saying you have the inverse of the sine function. Okay, for example, what I'm saying here is we call this right here, the inverse sine of x is not 1 over sine of x. You have to remember that this is not what you have here. Okay, what you have here is actually sine of x to the power of -1. So that's the inverse of the function. So that's what you have here. But this is different. Okay, this is the reciprocal, but this is different. And in this case, this would just be, as you all know, this would just be cosecant. Okay, so cosecant of x, but it's not this one here. So this is not it. Okay, so in order for you, so first thing to know to solve this. So now, if it's not this, well, what you have to do is just a couple of steps. Okay, so the first thing is to think of this as an angle. Okay, so first thing here, you think of this as an angle. So for example, I'm going to say the angle theta is equal to this, to sine, and let me put it like this instead, sine, the inverse sine of square root of 2 over 2. So first, this is the first thing you do. Okay, so you know that's theta. All right, and once you get that, so what you need really is to try to find an angle theta. Okay, the angle theta you have here, whose sine is actually square root of 2 over 2. So you need this angle theta, okay, whose sine is square root of 2 over 2. So in other words, you need this. You need sine theta. You need to get this angle, and whose sine is square root of 2 over 2, where actually one thing to, or other thing to remember here is that theta must be between negative. So as in this case here, where theta, let me say negative p over 2 is less than or equal to theta less than or equal to pi over 2. Negative pi over 2 less than or equal to theta less than or equal to pi over 2. Okay, so this is what you need really. You need to get theta. Okay, now third step, so just 3 steps. First step, remember that this is not a reciprocal, it's just an angle you're trying to get. Treat this as an angle. Okay, once you know that it's an angle, the next step is for you to know, to get that angle, find the angle whose sine will give you this value here. Okay, but you need that angle to be between negative pi over 2 and pi over 2 inclusive. Okay, now 3 is for you to refer to one of my videos in which I show you actually how to get how to memorize the standard trigonometric functions, okay, for the standard angles I'm saying. So for example, in this case here, you need to remember, try to remember or check the table, see the angle, which angle between negative pi over 2 and pi over 2 that would have a sine, the sine to be square root of 2 over 2. Okay, that's the question you ask yourself, and you think about it, and you say, well, that angle must be pi over 4. Okay, so that angle whose sine is, so you can say that the angle theta which is this angle I'm talking about, defined like this here, is, whose sine is square root of 2 over 2, is pi over 4. Okay? And it's between negative pi over 2 and pi over 2. So you get this angle here. So again, for you to get exact values of inverse trigonometric functions, you need to make sure you understand that this is not a reciprocal. Okay? It's not a reciprocal. You treat it as if it's an angle, an actual angle, because that's what it is. It's theta. You call it theta. Then you know you need to make sure you get the angle, the angle theta, whose sine would give you the actual value you have there, the square root of 2 over 2. And with that, you just work backward to the table and pick the angle, which is pi over 4. Okay? That's all I had for you. Thank you.